This is Fantasy Baseball Today from CBSSports.com.
What's up, everyone? This is an exclusive, awesome presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. Adam Azer here with Scott White and Al Melchior. And guys, we are approaching Fantasy Week 4, so we've got to help people set their lineups with some start-sit advice.
Every week.
All right.
Every single week.
Yeah, and every day we are live every weekday, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time on the website. Check out the show, Fantasy Baseball Today. So let's begin with Scott's start hitters. You've got Daniel Murphy and Michael Morse as recommended starts.
I do. And Daniel Murphy, I think, is the one I'm going to start out with here because he is a guy who actually in his career has hit right-handers much better than left-handers. Last year, it was especially apparent, about a 200-point difference in OPS. And after a slow start, he started to heat it up recently, batting over 300 with a couple steals in his last 7 games. So second base being a deep position, if you can fit him in, this looks like a good time to do it.
And Michael Morse going to Colorado, that's always good news.
Yeah, actually, especially for him, a career 500 hitter there, and it's 20 for 40, so not a huge sample, but one we need to pay attention to. Obviously got off to a great start this year. Everybody was picking him up, but coming off a rough week, you may not be inclined to start him. I think you should.
Al, all the way at the end of the table. How are we doing over there?
Doing all right.
Tell us about some pitchers to start. Danny Salazar, huh? Sticking with him?
I am. So, yeah, no, I'm doing all right. Danny Salazar wasn't doing so fine. His last start against the Tigers kind of had runners, I think, or owners kind of running out in the streets, looking to dump him, looking to get a replacement. I think stick with him. It's a 2-start week coming up. I still love the potential, love the strikeouts that you might get from Salazar, and potential here for a couple of wins because he's got the Royals and the Giants this week. I like those matchups. The 2-start pitching options this week are pretty slim, so he's one of your better options, actually, to get an extra good start in there, even though it does involve some risk.
And here's Willie Peralta, who's off to a very good start. Another guy that you're recommending. He has good matchups.
He does have good matchups. In his case, it's the Padres and the Cubs, so you have to like those matchups. And Peralta, I think, actually can be even better than what he's shown so far this year. There's some untapped strikeout potential there. Good ground ball guy, so even though he's got a couple of home starts at a good hitter's park, with these matchups and his ground ball tendencies, could be a very, very good week for Peralta.
So who are we sitting in Fantasy Week 4? Well, Scott's got the hitters. Sitting Charlie Blackmon and Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, I think we finally reached the point with Blackmon where it's time to sit him. He's given you a lot. It's been great. We loved it. But he has slowed down a little. But even more than that is just the fact that the Rockies are scheduled to face 3 left-handed pitchers in their 6 games this week. And as good as Blackmon's been, manager Walt Weiss isn't trusting him on an everyday basis. He's been sitting him not against every single lefty, but against enough that I don't want to start him. I don't want to risk him playing only 4 or 5 games this week, especially since not really being a power hitter, it's not like he's going to pile up points in bunches.
Now, Trevor Plouffe is just the guy that we can't figure out why he's owned in so many leagues when people need third baseman.
Yeah, that really is the main reason. It's the ultimate position of need. It was weak to begin with, but Adrian Beltre and Ryan Zimmerman are down now, so even weaker. I don't know that Plouffe is your best option if you are in that desperate position this week. I have the Minnesota Twins with the worst matchups going against the Rays and the Tigers rotations. And Plouffe has slowed down a bit after a slow start, just a couple hits in his last 5 games. So believe it or not, I like Mike Moustakas more this week. I know he still hasn't done much of anything, but I was actually picked it up a little. Yeah. And the Royals have good matchups, 6 righties.
All right, now Al's going to tell you which pitchers to sit. Travis Wood, 2-start guy, but don't start him?
I don't think he should. I think he's gotten a little bit overhyped. A couple good starts out of the gate. There's been more good than bad for Wood this year. But ultimately, this is just somebody who I think can be useful in 2-start weeks, but I don't really like this particular 2-start week. He's got to start in Milwaukee, but unlike just talking about Willie Peralta, he doesn't have those good ground ball tendencies. That's a good Brewers lineup. I think that start alone could make this a very dangerous week to start Travis Wood.
And Zach McAllister is another sit for you.
He is, and he has the same nice matchups that his teammate Danny Salazar has, the Royals and the Giants. But McAllister, to me, he's kind of blah. He's not going to really help you out in any one particular category. I don't expect a lot of strikeouts for him. I don't expect great control, so therefore a great whip or ERA from McAllister. So maybe in some 2-start weeks you could use him, but I think there's some better options out there.
And again, we are live every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern Time, except for this coming Monday where we are live at 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you check that out, fantasynews.cbssports.com. You can download our podcast, the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast. For Al Melchior and Scott White, I'm Adam Azer. This has been an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. Thanks a lot.